Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We all know the sad reason that we're here. And rather than pointing a finger of blame, our impulse in California has always been to take action. California already has strong background checks, limiting purchasing by age, and restraining orders to prevent gun violence. Still, if there is anything more that we can do, we are compelled to do it. That is why we are here today, trying to accelerate consideration of new laws to reduce gun violence. All of the members behind me representing diverse communities, diverse parts of the state are here united to make sure that we do so. It is also our hope that other states will join California, and that we will act nationally to end the stranglehold that gun violence has on our country. Until then, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness will be an empty promise from our Declaration of Independence. We have work to do. I know the Senate is prepared to do that work as well. Here is my colleague, President Pro Tem Tony Atkins.
Well, thank you, Speaker Rendon. I appreciate the partnership that we have doing this critical work. And like you, I want to acknowledge these incredible leaders from the Senate and from the Assembly, representing individual members who have pieces of legislation, representing our budget subcommittees that oversee public safety, representing our public safety committees. This is an incredible team of leaders. You know, and we're here because we have gotten to the point where we can't live our lives without trepidation, that every time we step outside, we may never see our families again. That's what I heard yesterday. We can't live without the fear that each goodbye to our spouses and friends could be the last. This may feel like a point of no return, but it's not. Let me pick up on the energy of the speaker when I say we cannot let it be. We have to turn it around before another neighbor, mother, or child is senselessly ripped from our world. Every person who has stood in the way of solutions, whose votes have put more guns on our streets and in our classrooms, needs to put their extreme and misguided ideologies aside. Children are scared to go to school. It is our responsibility as leaders to leave no stone unturned, to do everything in our power to stop mass shootings in California. And I will continue to work with Speaker Rendon to move expeditiously on over a dozen bills that are already working their way through our legislative process. Many of them being acted on yesterday, this week. And I want to thank our governor, who I'll introduce in just a minute. But I do want to mention, in addition to these prioritized bills, our budget process is establishing and working on more guns to get more guns out of the hands of those who've been prohibited from owning guns by a court order. We're also working on the creation of an Office of Community Violence Prevention, which would help local communities create on-the-ground programs to prevent violence. We have to do everything in our power to get guns off our streets and away from people who should never lay a hand on them. 10 years ago, we were in an eerily similar situation, grieving the killing of 20 children and 6 educators at Sandy Hook Elementary. But here we are, mourning the murder of children again. Nothing has changed. We grieve, we mourn again. But let's be very clear. Unless we take action, and political leaders take real responsibility, we will continue to grieve and mourn. California leaders continue to take action. And we push and implore other states and our federal partners to bravely do the same. And now it's my pleasure to bring up our governor, who's taken an active, engaged role in this, Governor Gavin Newsom.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, remarkable leaders that are assembled here. I really don't have any comments I can share that haven't been shared after every senseless act of violence. Nothing that I can add. That hasn't been added to the conversation. Just reflecting on what happened. A little over a week ago in Buffalo. What happened in Boulder. What happened in Boulder. What happened in Aurora. What happened in Midland. leadership that demonstrably has been advanced out of the state of California. Rather gun control policies to restrict guns in this country, and their proliferation emanates from the state of California in the 1960s. Irony not lost on any of us, led by then Governor Ronald Reagan, for perverse reasons we don't even discuss now. May 2nd, 1967, marked a particular moment of consciousness for many of the wrong around gun safety, but led in many ways to the modern safety movement. Advanced over and over again through a series of tragedies. Some more notable than others. Stockton, five young children, 1989, led to more forceful efforts to address the issue of assault weapons that was advanced here in the state of California. A few years later, 101 California. 9 folks lost their lives. Then led to efforts by Senator Dianne Feinstein to advance at the federal level, weapons ban in 1994. The series tragedies and incidents. The state has stepped up and stepped in, not just through words, but through action. And that's what we're doing here today. We're going to control the things that we have control. But here's what is meaningful, and it's what the pro tem was just alluding to. California leads this national conversation. When California moves, other states in the same direction. For all of those, so many of us that are feeling deep anxiety and fear. I hope you look to this state for leadership, for demonstrable leadership. Leadership that's proven, by the way, results in this space. Those states like California, progressive policies in restricting the abuse and proliferation of guns have and gun death rates. I wasn't even going to bring him up, but Governor Abbott just named the state of California. I would caution him from doing that. Particularly, you just go to the CDC website and look at that gun murder rate. In 2020, there was 67% higher in the state of California in 2020. Just reflect on the seven laws that he celebrated last year. 25 just in the last few decades that have been rolled back. Common sense that's been rolled back just in the state of Texas as it relates to common sense gun laws. It's not a surprise in many respects. Critical areas on ghost guns, on issues related to the proliferation of assault weapons, ghost guns, as well as others. Where we need to increase our enforcement, taking the cue from Texas, and the SB 8 bill that put women's lives at risk. We're going to use those core tenets to save people's lives here in California, as it relates to private right of action, to address the proliferation of guns, particularly assault weapons. We're moving that bill forward. It got through that Senate yesterday, and I look forward to signing that bill. This state's leaning in. We're leaning forward. And I want folks to know. If you're feeling anxiety, stress, and fear, I hope you'll consider California all of the above, to all of the above, and I couldn't be more proud of with all these extraordinary leaders that are assembled here today. And it's not a surprise to me. It's not a surprise to me. We had a conversation. Late last night. Just hours later this morning. And so many others assembled here today. We mean business. We are resolved. We are resolved. We're not giving in to the cynicism. We're going to turn this around. We're going to turn this around. We are resilient as a nation. We will this period of time. Do not give up. Do not give up. And do not give in. And do not give cynicism to the cynicism and all the crap that you heard today in that press conference around evil and mental health. That completely belies the fact that there's only one nation on planet Earth that separates itself from all other nations, and that's the United States of America. And the perversion of a Second Amendment begins around well-regulated gun policy. We've completely lost our senses, lost touch with that reality. We need to change. We have that capacity to do so. The actions that we will be advancing in the state will be meaningful in advancing. So thank you again. Thank you again. Taking the time to be here. We're all here. So many pieces of legislation to answer any question. Well, I noted in 1989 that led to 1993 and 1994 with the application of a state law that led to a national law that saved lives and reduced gun violence. Senator Biden talked often about that as sponsors with Senator Feinstein, and we let that lapse. So that's just one demonstrable example of scale of work we've done on red flag laws, buttons on a series of issues, including the work that we're doing. Did last year and continue to do on ghost guns. California is leading. We're advancing that causes similarly states large and small, and we believe it will ultimately have an impact federally.
Governor, as was noted earlier, California already has toughest gun laws in the country, and yet we still have mass shootings in the state. There was one just a few blocks from the Capitol, the shooters had weapons that have been modified, turned into automatic. So I'm wondering why you think that more gun laws and restrictions would be the response here. Would you consider an alternative, maybe perhaps spending money to harden schools? A lot of schools and a lot of very open, have open.
I appreciate the well-worn question, talking points. It's not opinion, it's not conjecture. This is just stubborn fact. From 1993 to 2017, exact numbers. California's gun murder rate dropped 55%, dropped 62%, outperforming the rest of the nation because of our gun safety laws. We don't think they work. We know they work. I'll repeat what I said earlier. Those states with the most progressive gun safety laws, California being the largest, has seen disproportionate impact in terms of gun-related deaths. Gun-related deaths and murders of those policies. We know policies work to save lives. Are they exclusive? The only approach? You heard the speaker. You heard the speaker. And the pro tem just mentioned efforts. It relates to a series of strategies to address the underlying causes, the issue of violence prevention, $200 million. Demonstrable example of investment that we made together last year in that space on our violence prevention efforts. The work